You leap out of a flying bus and are now soaring through the strangely purple skyline above a cartoonish island. Your fingers clasp tightly around the handles of your hand glider, which is unironically made of candy. You're dressed head to toe in superhero-esque armor, eyes glowing. There's also angel wings protruding from your back. As the tilted tower's rooftops get closer and you anticipate your first move, your head swivels as you realize you're surrounded by people who want to kill you. John Wick to the left, Tomato Head to the right. You're breaking into a building through the roof. Your excavation tool of choice is an odd combination of a plunger fused with a katana, just trying to find some way to stay alive. Your feet hit the floor and you quickly open a glimmering treasure chest in the hopes of finding a weapon. Welcome to Fortnite.
I love Fortnite. I love Fortnite!
Fortnite is taking the world by storm, but it didn't happen overnight. The game was locked away in development for almost 7 years after it was announced back in 2011. The developer, Epic Games, was working on a brand new game engine called Unreal Engine 4 in order to build a game to rival Minecraft.
The community's incredible creativity has taken Minecraft into places we never could have imagined.
There are plenty of unforeseen difficulties associated with building a brand new game engine, especially if you want it to rival one of the world's most popular games. And that, along with Epic's desire to make Fortnite feel like a living organism with constant updates and additions, slowed down its development in a big way. Fortnite's initial concept was simple. You were going to get to build structures just like in Minecraft, but in Fortnite, you'd be building a base to stave off monsters called husks at night and survive the storm for 2 in-game weeks. It was going to be everything that was popular in 2011 squished together and blasted onto your television screen from your console. By 2014, Epic had a prototype version of the game ready for release, and the Unreal Engine 4 was slowly being refined, but was held back to further smooth out the gameplay. The vision that Epic had for this player versus environment iteration of the game is pretty similar to the Save the World version we see now.
That kind of moment, that moment that makes people cheer even if they're not playing, is precisely what Fortnite is about.
By June 2017, Fortnite was finally ready for the public, but the hype had died down significantly since its initial announcement 6 years ago. It was crisp, colorful, and combined the building assets of Minecraft with a shooter like Halo or Gears of War, just like Epic wanted. Guns, 4x4 structures, and zombies. It had it all. But the game more or less tripped on its way out of Tomato Town. What was taking off though was a different game format that players just couldn't get enough of: Battle Royale. Battle Royale games were taking the gaming world by storm, but they began mostly as Minecraft mods that were stylized around pop culture storylines like the Hunger Games by fans of both genres. The format is simple. Contestants are all trapped in a remote location and must fight one another by any means necessary until only one winner is left standing.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
The first non-mod Battle Royale game that had significant success was H1Z1. This was the first Battle Royale brainchild from Brendan PlayerUnknown Green, an Irish photographer and web designer turned Battle Royale developer, who had been working on mods for a while. He would then go on to create his own project, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
And then last year, Bluehole contacted me from Korea and said, "We love what you've done with the Battle Royale game. We'd like you to lead a team and make your own Battle Royale." And PUBG was born out of that.
PUBG launched in early access during March of 2017, and it's hard to overstate just how groundbreaking it was. Funnily enough, the game's developer Bluehole utilized Epic's Unreal Engine 4 in order to ensure the game could handle the studio's new 100-person bloodbath. Yes, that same engine being used to build Fortnite. PUBG averaged over 100,000 viewers at a time in both August and September of 2017, and even attracted esports attention from the likes of ESL.
This is going to be massive. They're going to be running into each other any second now. They're just steps behind. You're going to see the bullets to the back, and there it is. The instant spin around too late. Goal's gone down. The blue's coming in. The spin comes out. Good work taking them down, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Battle Royale was in, and with 8 million copies sold that August and 10 million that September, people couldn't get enough of it.
What you getting, little bitch? What's up? Fucking knocking my helmet off and shit.
So after an eternity in development, Fortnite made its debut in the summer of 2017 as a bridesmaid, while the belle of the ball, PUBG, had all eyes on it. On September 26, 2017, Epic Games made a move to keep up with PUBG. They simply put the world's biggest game into their game. They gave Fortnite the biggest shot in the arm you could give a game in 2017. They added a Battle Royale mode of their own. PUBG may have been the first Battle Royale game to take off, but when Epic Games dropped Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, it became clear that the genre had yet to hit its ceiling. Not only did Fortnite beat PUBG to console, but its Battle Royale mode was free to play, while PUBG's cost $30. And unlike PUBG, Fortnite offered an irreverent, playful style that appealed to gamers of all ages. Battle Royale is inspired by an undoubtedly gruesome narrative, but Fortnite works hard to juxtapose the grim fate of that island with the kind of bouncy, bubbly, and bombastic gameplay you'd expect from a Disney Pixar movie. After all, what could be more fun than wearing your bunny costume into battle?
Fly the bait, I got her! Let's go!
According to Epic Games, Fortnite broke PUBG's concurrent players record in February 2018, hitting 3.4 million concurrents.
And Amazon's Twitch saw its March traffic surge 40% thanks to Fortnite, the most watched game in Twitch history.
The Battle Royale bubble has burst, and Fortnite has been crowned master of the genre, at least for now. Between April 22nd and May 22nd of 2018, Twitch viewers watched 139,333,216 hours of Fortnite, and the game has quite literally become a cultural phenomenon.
What have you been playing? Fortnite. Yeah. Did you get season 4 already? No, I didn't. Dang it. Gotta download. It's tight.
So, needless to say, the relationship between Epic Games and PUBG developers Bluehole has become a little awkward since Epic has now taken their Unreal Engine and built their own Battle Royale game around it. As a result, on May 29th, PUBG filed a copyright violation lawsuit asking the court to decide whether Fortnite was a copy of PUBG. But despite this looming lawsuit, Fortnite continues to leap into the mainstream like the game just ate a Hop Rock.
It's all over social media. Pretty much all my friends, you can literally walk on the street, you can see someone playing on their phone, and everyone is talking about it.
I know the game. I've heard references to it online. People getting into trouble playing it too much. Girlfriends and boyfriends, you know.
I've played once, and I got number 25, so I'm pretty proud of that. That's it.
And I have this teacher who plays it and talks about it with my classmates when they play it and they're talking about it over class. So it's kind of annoying.
In-game, what's most different about Fortnite is its pace.
It's a game, obviously, number one, optimized. And that is why its popularity is just like skyrocketing.
I should try it.
Yeah, you'll love it.
When you die, you can get back in the queue within seconds and be right back in the action. It offers normal gunfights, building fights that turn into editing fights.
Please! 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 Get out of my ramps, dude! My walls!
And jetpack fights, among others.
All he has is that. Oh, mate.
The only thing more limitless than the fun is the capacity for skillful gameplay.
Let's go, baby! Woo!
Did you no scope him?
No, man, it's a quick scope. Click that, dude!
After its Battle Royale mode was released, it took Fortnite just 3 short months to show comparable average Twitch viewership numbers to PUBG. By February, it had completely eclipsed its predecessor, with an average of 97,904 viewers to PUBG's 64,654. As of May, Fortnite has taken over Twitch, and the game is averaging more than 178,000 viewers at any given time, completely dismantling its competition.
You jump in, you get to experience the whole story for an episode, start to finish, because it's a game, and you get to feel like you're part of something. I think that is massive for viewership.
This is the League of Legends killer.
So what was the breaking point? Well, it came in the form of a 26-year-old former Halo pro turned streamer. On March 15th, Tyler Ninja Blevins massacred the Twitch individual streaming record when he played a Fortnite squads match with rappers Drake and Travis Scott and Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster.
I have a lot of supplies for you. Materials for you whenever you're ready.
Oh, baby, I'm ready.
As soon as the boy Duddus touched down on Fortnite Island, the barrier to entry to video games and streaming fell, and Fortnite became a household name.
I think that literal one match with Drake made it okay for everyone to play video games.
It's not like gaming wasn't big before, but in that moment, Fortnite became mainstream in a way that few games have.
Fortnite is free to play and accessible across consoles, PCs, and iOS mobile devices.
It's the online game that has fans in a frenzy.
Yeah, I didn't start playing until Drake started playing, so you can totally blame him on this one.
That night, Ninja broke the Twitch viewership record with more than 630,000 concurrent viewers. Just a few weeks later, late in April, he broke his own record with Ninja Vegas, his very own esports event.
Coming out hot with the pump shotgun. Gotta kind of choking the shots a little bit. Nerves are getting to him. All he has to do is hit one more time. He gets the game. That's the game.
The event peaked at around 679,000 concurrents.
I can't even imagine what that even looks like if you saw that many people in person.
Terrifying, most likely.
After these two massive streaming splashes, Ninja's stream took over the Twitch world. As of May 23rd, 2018, Ninja was averaging more than 125,000 viewers every day while he streamed. He finished April more popular on social media than the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Shaquille O'Neal. Fortnite was vaulted into the living room small talk zeitgeist, and Ninja was right there with it. So in a world of this, and this.
And Red Sox pitcher David Price said Thursday that video games are not the cause of his carpal tunnel syndrome, but stressed he will not play the popular game Fortnite in the team's clubhouse again, quote, to avoid the distraction it has already caused, end quote.
What's the next step for Fortnite? Well, in a traditional sense, it's been esports. Previous games that have splashed into relevancy have tried to strengthen their foothold on the gaming community by branching their programming into competitive events. Major esports organizations like Team Solo Mid and FaZe Clan have already made big commitments by signing players and building Fortnite teams in a reaction to the game's massive popularity.
You guys ready for this? Watch, I'll show you guys ready.
Oh! No way! What? What?
In theory, this incentivizes players to log hours and compete to make a career out of the game. But Fortnite's a little different. The games aren't the long, team-focused slogs that you'll find in League of Legends or Dota 2. They're snappy and quick, and it's not like you can hold a camera over the top of the entire island. Not to mention the logistical issues associated with putting 100 rigs and professionals in a room together. But Fortnite and Epic Games are making a run at making esports a possibility. On May 21st, Epic announced that they would be putting up $100 million towards Fortnite esports between 2018 and 2019.
What?
What? 100 million?
Wow.
Looks like Daddy's coming out of retirement. I'm just...
Since then, during the Fortnite Pro-Am at E3, Epic also announced where that money would be going. The Fortnite World Cup.
Qualifying for the Fortnite World Cup will be based on merit, and Epic will not be selling teams or franchises, and we won't allow third-party leagues to do so either.
This event will spread that $100 million over a number of different online and LAN qualifying events all over the world. This will all culminate in the World Cup, for which details have not yet been announced. Before Fortnite even has a competitive game mode, they're willing to come out and say, Fortnite is here to stay. Just a day later, Epic announced Fortnite's involvement in E3, where they hosted a $3 million charity pro-am at the gaming showcase featuring the likes of Ninja, Myth, Marshmello, and NBA star Paul George. Ninja and Marshmello were crowned champions at the Fortnite Pro-Am, and as he raised his golden pickaxe with a peak viewership of 1.5 million watching online, Ninja's stranglehold as the king of Fortnite tightened. So Fortnite has built itself into this towering structure of commercial success and absolute fan obsession. There are enemies on all sides, competing games, and critics armed with boogie bombs and pump shotguns. There are in-game references showing up all over popular culture. Your parents know what Fortnite is, your teacher spends their night chasing victory royales, and your social media feeds are flooded with highlights, memes, and Fortnite players busting a move. It wasn't that long ago that we thought PUBG was the next big thing, that the rest of our gaming lives would be spent on that post-apocalyptic wasteland. Will Fortnite become the understudy just as quickly? Or are we bound to that island? Building ramps up to the sky, riding rockets to get that jaw-dropping kill, and leaping off that launch pad to avoid the storm and fly into Fortnite's limitless future.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.